They say women are better at hiding things, but the truth is, she's not hiding it. You're just not paying attention, because before a woman cheats, she shifts, not just in her words, but in her energy, her presence, her patterns. And if you're still watching her lips, you'll miss what her silence is screaming. Cheating doesn't always start in the bedroom. It starts in the subtle exits, the missing glances, the way she starts looking at you like a man who's fading in her story. This isn't about paranoia, it's about clarity. These are the signs, not always loud, but always there. Let's begin. 1. Her attention shifts, and she pretends it hasn't. It starts slow. She laughs at your jokes, but the light in her eyes doesn't reach you anymore. She asks how your day was, but her body's turned slightly away. You're talking, but she's already somewhere else. And when you ask about it, she says, "What do you mean?" Plays dumb, as if you imagined it. She hasn't pulled away physically. Not yet. But mentally, she's already at the door, just waiting to see if someone else will knock. I remember a man who noticed the shift. His girl stopped texting first, stopped playing with his hair during movies. Her replies got shorter. Not rude, just efficient. And when he brought it up, she smiled and said, "You're being insecure." No fight, no drama, just a soft dismissal, like it was all in his head. That's the trick. When her attention drifts, she won't admit it, because admitting it would force her to make a choice. And most women, before they cheat, don't want to choose yet. They want to keep what's comfortable while exploring what's exciting. So, she stays, but only half present, and pretends that's normal. If you feel her slipping but she denies the distance, don't gaslight yourself. You're not crazy. You're just seeing something she hopes you're too numb to notice. 2. She starts hiding the small stuff. She used to tell you everything: what she ate, who she texted, why she was late. Little things, nothing dramatic, but they built a rhythm, and rhythm builds trust. Then one day, she tells you she's tired, but her phone lights up with a guy's name she hasn't mentioned before. She used to leave it face up. Now, it's flipped. Notifications turned off. Password changed. Nothing big, just small things, quiet things, private things. And when you ask, she laughs, says you're overreacting. She's just being more private now. But privacy that wasn't there before is rarely innocent. It's not about having secrets. It's about protecting connections she knows you wouldn't be okay with. I knew a woman who once said, "I didn't cheat until I stopped telling him about my day. Because once I started filtering, I already knew something in me had shifted." When she starts hiding the small stuff, the insignificant texts, the harmless friendships, the new guy at work, she's not testing you, she's testing herself to see how much she can disconnect from you before she does it physically. 3. The intimacy vanishes or fades. Touch used to be a language. Now it feels like a transaction. She used to grab your hand just because. Now she pulls away without thinking. Kisses feel routine. Hugs feel hollow. And in bed, it's either mechanical or missing altogether. She says she's stressed, tired, hormonal. And sure, sometimes that's true. But if it goes on too long without emotional closeness to balance it, you're not in a relationship. You're in a memory of one. I once heard a guy say, "She stopped touching me weeks before she stopped talking to me." And that's what most men miss. When a woman's body closes off, it's because her mind and heart have already started to open elsewhere. Sometimes she's not even sleeping with the other guy yet, but she's already imagining it, already comparing, already drifting in places she won't admit to herself. And here's the thing, she'll keep acting like everything's fine. Cook dinner, watch shows, smile in photos. But when you reach for her, it's like trying to hug a ghost. If your presence no longer awakens her softness, she's already gone. 4. She picks fights that don't make sense. You leave a dish in the sink, she erupts, you forget to text back for an hour. Suddenly, you're not making her a priority. It's not about the plate. It's not about the phone. It's about the disconnect inside her that she doesn't want to admit. So she creates conflict. Because guilt needs a villain, and you're the closest target. I watched it happen to a friend. They were solid, or so he thought. Then she started nitpicking. His tone, his habits, his laugh. She used to adore those things. Now they annoyed her. Why? Because when she started catching feelings for someone else, she needed to lower the value of what she had, to justify what she wanted. So she looked for flaws, blew up little issues, turned peace into tension. And when he tried to fix things, she grew colder. Because in her heart, she had already exited. If she's fighting you over things she used to love, it's not about what's wrong with you. It's about what she's trying to make wrong, to clear her conscience for what she's about to do next. 5. Her future plans no longer include you. It used to be we. Now it's I. She talks about trips, but you're not invited. She makes plans for the future, but doesn't ask if you're coming with her. Pay attention to how she talks about time. The woman who once dreamed out loud with you is now making exit strategies in her head. She calls them independent goals, self-care, finding herself. And maybe that's true. But if you've been part of her life and suddenly you're not part of her vision, she's already halfway out. I met a man who saw it too late. She started saving money separately, started meeting with new friends at odd hours, started mentioning apartments near her job, even though they already lived together. He thought she was just stressed, but stress doesn't erase someone from your blueprint. Only emotional detachment does that. And when a woman starts dreaming without you, you're not just being replaced. You've already been replaced. She's just waiting for the moment she no longer needs to explain. Cheating doesn't always look like lipstick on a collar. Sometimes it looks like emotional absences, slow silences, and love stretched so thin you stop recognizing it. But if you pay attention, you'll see it before it breaks you. Not so you can punish her, not so you can chase her, but so you can let go. Before you lose yourself trying to hold on. Protect your peace. Honor your intuition. And remember, a man who sees clearly walks away with dignity. If this spoke to you, subscribe. Because next time, we're not just talking about betrayal. We're talking about healing from it and becoming the kind of man who never begs to be chosen because he's too busy choosing himself.